One of the biggest lies in the personal growth industry is that once you set a boundary, everyone's going to automatically follow it. That's not true. It's not necessarily going to happen. Let me explain. I had this realization in practice today while I was laying in Shavasana, and it occurred to me that just because we make a boundary doesn't mean that everyone's going to automatically follow it. We don't live in a vacuum. We can't control other people and how they respond to the boundary. Most people do not like change. So when we are trying to implement change and change a pattern that has been, they are very resistant to it. But that's one thing. Boundaries, just because there's a resistance to a boundary does not mean that that boundary is not correct. What that means is you need to gain the strength through reps, through continuing to hold the boundary in order for it to eventually stick. Let me give you an example. In my own life, I practice yoga. If you've been following me, that's probably not a shock. That's what my page is primarily about, is yoga. And it is very important to me to get on my yoga mat every day. Well, when I first had kids, making that a reality started to become very difficult. Now, when they were babies, it's really hard to hold boundaries for babies, but usually I'd have them next to my mat and I'd get in what I can. But as they got older, I had to set the boundary. This is mom's practice time in space. You are welcome to be in the room with me. You can sit on my chair, but you may not crawl all over me and interrupt me unless it's like some life or death situation that needs to be handled right then and there, which yes, that does happen sometimes. But holding boundaries requires strength. It requires consistency. It requires being able to hold the line and continue to hold the line in a graceful way, not in a mean and aggressive way, because that's usually not well received by most people, but in a firm and strong way. If you are in the process of learning to hold boundaries, know that it does take time. It takes reps. It takes conditioning of the other and holding that line. But with that, you can get there. Just have the strength and determination enough to keep practicing holding that boundary. Life is a practice of pretty much everything.